By the way, just in case Singaporean fans, that Keith right there is Vanix.
Vanix, yeah, lost a lot of weight thanks to the military.
The glow up, man! It's the amount of glow up that Keith was able to do in between seasons. By the way,
yeah.
It's actually kind of astounding.
Honestly, though, this is the power of NS. If you're in Singapore, you kind of know. But Malaysia actually still having a huge respect over to Diablo's Benedetta, or Wheelun's Benedetta, so to speak. This creates so much intimidation factor for Malaysia if Singapore picks it up. And Zorn is, for one the person who should know how far Diablo is able to push it through with the Benedetta itself.
Paquito banned away right off the bat. Marcel open. Nope, we're gonna give Elton that Claude. He's been playing that Claude, I would say, good 3 games in a row if you count this one.
Well, we need to see how well Vanix or Keith holds himself against Elton. We've seen how Elton performs with the Claude, very mechanically skilled. He is dashing here and there with BMIs. Keith needs to be able to find a way to deal with that lane pressure that Claude will bring to the table. One thing that I know and love about Keith is that he is still kind of flexible. He does like the marksman still, but he is flexible if he is put in a position where he has to play the CCs. He has to play the fighter side lanes. He would be able to do it as well. The Fredrin will be picked up for side of Singapore, which is immediately countered by the Claude though in the late game.
I mean, technically speaking, Fredrin is still solid in the pick. Galakacha, we haven't seen that hero so far in AGC for the AGQ, sorry, AG qualifier. AGQ qualifier, yeah, that's right.
It's been a long day, Jace.
It's been a long day. Like, this is 6th match in a row. Gord and Akai. This is almost like similar to what they played earlier just now. So this is a bit of muscle memory going in the favor for the side of Team Malaysia. Galakacha, I would say, following off in terms of the meta, even though, you know, you got a Gord that potentially the AOG should be able to counter that, but by the time the AOG is finished charged up, Gord has already dished out a lot of damage already.
Well, for Singapore, Galakacha is kind of like the national flavor. A lot of teams like that Galakacha. They highly prioritize it, but in this current patch, Akai can just disrupt the AOG. You dive in or you taunt in, the Kai uses the heavy spin, you try to AOG out, you get that reset. It's sort of like remember the Fredrin holding the sword out in order to ramp up for the Appraiser's Wrap. It's basically like that. So it's a little bit of a soft counter on that. Valentina also getting picked up, which is one of Royman's more comfort heroes against Raziv's Gord.
Yeah, I think this is good, right? Not only just the fact that, you know, you use your heavy spin, not only just deny, not say, just kind of push the I bet it's definitely going to go into Nas Han earlier just now away. You also use the heavy spin in a certain extent to kind of push Amar on the Gord, you know, deny that. But don't forget, Valentina using heavy spin means that she's susceptible onto damages because she doesn't inherit HP from that.
Might be the Mystic Gush as well that Valentina can pick up, but Gord's playstyle, or the way we saw Razif against Indo, he created a lot of space for himself. He's always on the back line. Singapore really desperately needs to find a way towards that back line. The answer might be a Yu Zhong if Malaysia decides not to ban that out.
There's also, apart from the
Leslie. Singaporean flavor. That's what I'm saying, man. You got your wish. Leslie actually doesn't see a lot of day, but we do see. I get to see her graphics.
We see a ban, all right, from the side of Leslie, right? No one, absolutely no one, Malaysia bans with Leslie against the Claw. I mean, Leslie's definitely. I really love the Leslie, especially in this particular patch. I played and enjoyed her tremendously, but of course, I feel like the Moskov should be more of a threat, especially in the hands of Keith against a roster like this. The fact that you could just use your spear to just jump all the way to the backline, tag onto God, and then after that, just push him to misery, and then after that, you know, Bob's your uncle.
I think Singapore's trying to suss out Hasham's Cho that he actually picked up. They're banning all of the roam heroes. The Glue's gone, the Marcel's gone. The Cho might be a next best possible option for the side of Malaysia, but for Singapore though, I don't think that would be a very huge threat for them. Zorn could go with something a little bit more tanky, aggressive, like the Khalid instead of the Cho.
There's still the card potential. If you want to go something non-meta, the Kaja is still a threat, right? Like you just pull somebody, go and just immediately melt the person down, and after that, but problem is you will just give a lot of options over to the side of Valentina to pick up these critical ultimates.
Interesting. So we're taking the time on this. It's going to be the Bruno, which is pretty much a decent lane-to-lane matchup against the Claude. Does much better in the early game. It's up to Bellamy whether the Galakacha is able to protect the Bruno from harm's way. And I think that what's just lacking is the gap closer in the form of maybe Yu Zhong is still on the table for both sides.
I'm thinking apart from the Yuzhong that, you know, both sides, Weelun probably played that before. Sorry, Weelun. Also, Razu could play as well. There's also a potential Sora for the Zion team, Malaysia as well, that could always fall back on, especially right now. You saw the potential power from the side of Sora in the previous game, right? If you need damage, I have it. If you need additional utility, I have it. So flexible on this hero. I think, yep, you're right. No Brandon's heroes on the troll for the side of Hisham, and also Lapu Lapu selected by the side of Razif.
Well, St. Lucas for you. He's coached Weelun and Royven under his wing, having won 3 championships under his belt as well, under his watch. And so he understands how Weelun and Royven likes to play their heroes, how to execute their gameplay.
A crazy idea would be the Esmeralda from the side of Diablo. Weelun.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
it would work. And he played that a couple of times in MPL SG. It worked to great success, especially against the Fovias and the Paquitos.
You dive the Gort, Lapu Lapu generates shields as well. You're not afraid of the troll kicking you at the same time, so that's something that, you know, if Eugene, aka KZP, by the way, shout out to KZP. Once you go for that, it's still open.
The Martis is throwing everything out of the books, out of tables. He's going straight for the Martis. We've seen this a couple seasons before, not in MPL season 11, MPL SG season 11, but this time around, I think it might be able to work. And Weelun is one of those guys that like to play off-meta picks. He's going straight for the damage. He knows that Jinxiang's playing the tank jungler, so needs that backup of that damage coming in.
True. I was thinking more of Esmeralda earlier just now, but Martis, okay. Fine. Risky, I agree. I've seen Weelun play the Martis in the EXP lane before. When he pops off, he looks good. But the second time when he pulls out the Martis in the second game, then he kind of falls to, because the team kind of realizes what the Martis wants to do.
Yeah, targets on the heads. And with the S1, S2 combo as well, you have a little bit more CC immunity alongside your ultimate. So I think the Martis, he has his work cut out for him, but hey, don't doubt Weelun. This is game number 1, Malaysia versus sunny Singapore.
There hasn't been any changes for the past patches for the Martis, right? As we load up into game number 1 between Team Singapore against Team Malaysia. Team Malaysia in the blue, Team Singapore in the red. Both junglers gonna mirror each other, meet all the way down the XP lane.
Yep. Bellamy is moving towards that topside jungle, trying to protect Jinxiang, giving a little bit more intelligence. And I think Hisham being very comfortable on that claw, playing that mind games, playing the way that the annoying Cho that we're also very used to, not used to.
Yeah, don't forget Keith also plays quite a mean Bruno back in the good old days when, you know, Bruno was part of the meta as well. I think that was a good whole 3 to 4 seasons ago already. But now, you know, Team Singapore looking at mid.
Yeah, we also look at Keith as one of the best, if not the one of the best gold laners in Singapore. So, you know, picking up that Bruno and having that safe lane, we know how Singapore likes to play this round. Once they hit that 5-6 minute mark, you see Bellamy just protecting, body blocking Keith. That has been their modus operandi for many seasons already. Taking a little atomizations, it's still the marksman emblem for the Bruno, and going back to basic with the sustain, with a fighter emblem for the Claude as well.
Yeah, we've seen another team that actually brought the Bruno, if I remember correctly, that was Hong Kong, China, right? Correct. Using the Bruno, picking up instead of marksman emblem, went for the fighter emblem step, because right now in this day and age, you just need that sustainability to be able to do the damage over time against your utility jungles.
Yeah, I was testing things out with a new hero as well, Hirara. A lot of players were thinking, hey, go assassin emblem, go to marksman emblem, because that was in the previous meta where you need a little bit more attack speed. The sustained fighter emblem is coming on strong as well. Unfortunately, we won't get to see that hero in this current meta or in this current patch in AGQ, but going back into the game, this might be, you know, a bane or a boon for this Bruno, because you don't have the extra sustain, but you're going straight for that damage. Once you get the Has Claws, you have to rush that Has Claws fast.
Okay, but at the very least, there's also a potential way where, you know, the Claw is going to get disrupted by Weelun's second skill, right? When you keep spinning all this kind of stuff, you kind of push it away. Hopefully that's the one that is able to deactivate the Blazing Duet. I think right now, Team Singapore is looking at that as a key to victory, but there's still Amar with the Mystic Gush. That laser is still very annoying.
Yep, both mid lanes are not level 4 yet, not hitting their power spike. As of now, Weelun already hit his core power spike, got his ultimate. He's in the fray. It's a 4v4.
Royven doesn't really have level 4. He jumps in first. A lot of damage already landed down on the side of Amar. Even the Retribution on the side, Jinxiang already used as well.
That's a great start for Singapore. Using Retribution, slowing that down, taking down Amar, taking down the mid lane to deny him from that farm. So Royven really has that work cut out for him. They know that they needed to give up that objective. They know that they needed to give up that turtle. They don't have to fight that. Let's try to get some farm elsewhere.
Yep, and you know, a lot of helps right onto Keith right now, right? Bellamy also will be able to spot that Hisham right there. procs a concussive blast. But you can see Keith just kicking those damage right down the Bolton as we take a look at this replay.
There's a lot of damage starting off with Royven, especially with the Valentina. Early game burst damage from the Valentina. Someone has been slain though, that's Bellamy, walking a little bit too deep and too far into the bush. Keith
blazing to it, and unfortunate the heavy spin as well. Many ultimates committed onto Keith. Even the flicker already even burned as well by either side of Keith. That's how Team Malaysia is going to climb back, I guess.
Yeah, a mistake from Bellamy and Keith where, you see Bellamy coming up on that top side, but you don't open up that map to suss out where Najan as well as Amar would be at. All you need is one heavy spin to lock Keith down, use up that Purify. You don't really have a lot of escape or maneuverability once your dash is used up as well.
Roy also, right, you expect the Valentina to have at the very least some form of EXP advantage, especially when you start rotating, you start spinning, you gain EXP. You're not seeing that coming out from the side of Royven as well.
Yeah, the passive has been nerfed quite a bit for Valentina, but it's still extremely viable just because of the early game damage.
Look at where Hisham is, Jules.
Whoa, it's way
deep in enemy territory.
And this is precisely the Hisham that we know and love. At least for the previous game against Indonesia, that has so much trouble taking that troll down. And for Singapore, though, this is, as much as they got the first blood, they are 1,500 gold behind. For the second turtle, you're not in the right position. Whelan is taking a little bit more time than usual just to get that skill up. He's not having that presence that we need, at least for the early game.
Yep, Royven steals away the heavy spin at the very least. From the side, Nashan, Keith is also joining the fray in the mid. Elton also joining suit. This could be a potential 5v5 right now. To spin for the win for the side of Whelan. Razif dies on the way back. Zones out Jin Xiang right there. Members for the side. Oh, Masan still takes down the turtle for himself at the same time. And also a double kill for the side Team Malaysia. Man, this is so hard to watch if you're a strong team in Singapore.
Jin Xiang was left all alone in the turtle pit. Malaysia just pulled everyone in. It's the Hisham effect. He went straight into the back line, tried to pull Royven in. Now without the dashes, Elton from all the way from that top side rotated down to the mid just to join in that turtle fight. Found kills onto two of the core members of Singapore.
Yeah, take a look at the replay, right? Like even though you see that's a problem about the Fredrin versus Nasan on the Akai, right? You're just a sitting duck. You're constantly getting pushed out, and Hisham even landing the way of the dragon at the same time onto ensuring the death of Jin Xiang as well. So that's not looking great for the side Team Singapore. 5 to kill is a kill score. 5 to 1 is a kill score. Yeah,
the Akai itself is just such an annoyance towards this Fredrin. I think Jin Xiang is just really comfortable with the Fredrin as a tank jungle, but right now Malaysia just ramping up that tempo, keeping up into that aggression. Oh man.
Mid lane crack open in 5 minutes.
Royven also down low, 50% of his health already gone up. Singapore should look to adjust their strategy and rotate towards that top side, protect Keith a little bit more. And like you said, and I agree with you, Keith would be the saving grace for Singapore if they want to take a game off of Malaysia.
Yeah, but the fact that Elton has already scaled, right? Like right now, take a look at the items going into Ferocity side next. That's more than enough. Demon Hunter Sword now, Jin Xiang is not safe at all. He's going to get shredded very easily. And not only just the fact that he's going to get shredded easily, he only just secured his first item.
Yep, skills tipping, favoring the side of Malaysia a lot more. And as much as the Mortis is being played right here, doesn't have any presence, at least for the early parts of that game. I understand like how Whelan likes to operate around this, but Razif is really holding himself well against Whelan, especially on a lane-to-lane fight. But what Mortis excels in, clearing that wave and starting that rotation into these major team fights, major objectives, down into a turtle pit. Singapore finding a hard time to adjust to this patch.
Yeah. Just unfortunately for the side of Team Singapore, they had to watch Team Malaysia take down that turtle for absolutely free. There's no sense of fight coming out of Team Singapore as of now. They're really far behind. 4K gold lead in the favor of the side of Team Malaysia right now.
Yeah, it is difficult to watch. Jin Xiang will hit the call on the taunt. Energy Eruption will not land though. Everyone's just dashing out of the way. But you're putting Jin Xiang in a position where he has to support also where Keith is, and he's just sitting nicely on that top side T1 for a period of time. This wastes his time on the farm that he could have picked up elsewhere on that map.
Yeah, and don't forget, you expect the Martis to really escalate out of control, right, at a of now. But okay, hold on a second. A bit of a push coming up the side. Whelan right here. Nasan is still okay. The heavy spin still in tow, but no damage coming off of Singapore as of yet.
Yeah, they're just way too far behind. 4,800 gold lead is the economy gap that Malaysia has built for themselves. Singapore is just playing on the defensive. As passive as they are, they're still they don't want to rush onto anything. They want to play it safe. And it's kind of like, you know, you turtle up until Malaysia makes a mistake, but you can't really count on Malaysia to make any mistakes at all.
Yeah, I feel like you have to really try to force it, right? Like, I haven't seen any form of engages coming out from the side of Team Singapore, and mostly Team Malaysia is the one that comments these fights early on. I feel like, you know, giving 2-3 turtles over the side of Team Malaysia already, especially on this scaling comp, is not looking good for the side of Team Singapore. And, you know, Team Malaysia, right? They're going to take this Amar, right? Like, look, Amar is 2-1-2. Elton, yep, that's attack speed trinity. No, actually, that's going to be a currency sign. I think the Golden Staff is not really required because, like, you know, he's already pick up quite a decent chunk of the damage. Jin Xiang is not there yet to be able to front and face tank against damage coming out from Elton. That is a big problem.
Yeah, I feel like the issue is the rotation speed from Singapore. They were banking on Weeloon to start making the cuts, making the moves across the map to join in these early skirmishes, the early team fights. The Jin Xiang using the taunt over receive, but he will be able to walk out safe. Singapore doesn't seem like they want to go for any of the aggressions at all.
Yeah, it's just, you know, Team Malaysia is taking over the whole land of Dawn, right? Like whatever Team Singapore is trying to do, it's constantly getting denied because of the Akai heavy spin, and also to a certain extent the Bravest Warrior as well, right? And now look, Team Malaysia, they're leagues ahead in terms of the EXP.
For Malaysia as well, they have done a pretty good job. They know that they control the jungle. They know that they've secured the map. And now they're sitting heavily on that map. Singapore can't even step foot out of their base. They might be able to burst the bubble right now. The Mystic Gush will take Bellamy down.
Taking bomb at the same time. One more dot to burn. We're doing the trick for the side of Amar, taking Bellamy down.
Unfortunate for Singapore. This looks like an extremely dire situation. 10 minutes in, 8k gold lead is what Malaysia has built upon themselves. And they're just playing the mental game, playing the mind games, drawing them out.
Look, Elton goes all the way deep, blazing the way at the same time. Jin Xiang trying to land down the Praise's Wrath. Okay, still at the very least, still catch onto Elton. And now it seems like Team Malaysia have overstayed the welcome just a little bit. But Jin Xiang already sacrificed right here. We're picking up Razzie, 3 men down. And that should be some form of shutdown goal at the very least. Consolation prize for Team Singapore.
Jin Xiang still has that metal in him. He still has that fight in him. And he will fight until the very end. The scoreline has equalized right now, a little bit favoring the side of Malaysia still, but Singapore on that defense.
They're not out of the woods yet.
Not out of the woods yet, though. It's difficult for them. And Jin Xiang, that was a pretty decent play. They understand that, hey, you know, Elton is playing a little bit too greedily, going straight into team fights and getting pushed back by the heavy spin. So honestly, though, the heavy spin was the one that actually pushed the Praise's Wrath into Elton. He was already out of harm's way with the BMI.
And it feels like, you know, if you take a look, the damage started coming from Keith is starting to show right now. But Ziggasurian Haskell's already secured. Royven can also start bursting. And hold on a second. No engages coming out from the side Team Malaysia as of now. Team Singapore full retreat though.
That's a 5v5. They want to go for a all-out skirmish. Jin Xiang taking a huge amount of damage from that Claude. And I think Elton already has the Holy Trinity already built up. Singapore needs to threat lightly. At least for the next 50 seconds until Lord spawns up. They might be able to take this if they play their cards right. Weeloon needs to find angles and approaches onto the back line, but Elton, as we all know, is hard to take down.
Benefit gun as well, if he's already very hard to take down, that extended range is going to make it even harder. Keith, I believe, should be on his 3rd item going into the Benefit gun as well. Berserker's Fury rework is also kind of interesting for the side Bruno. That's why probably you'll start to see a lot of these pro players experimenting onto the Bruno, right?
Well, that being said, though, as taunt overall in Shan will be able to dash out of there. A little bit of mind games once again. As Singapore struggles to find any consolation.
Any footing as well, right? And right now, Jin Xiang.
Man.
That's not where you want to be!
Immediately
gets busted down, and Bellamy burning to the revitalize. Churros, I don't really understand what's going on because Team Malaysia is just leading the charge. 3 members down, making 4. Elton become a double kill already. And Elton turning around, rising. Weeloon going down next. A full wipeout for the side of the Singaporean team.
Malaysia just pushing it through, showing who's the bigger brother. And they might be able to turn things around. This is 1 minion, but that might be all they need.
The last I checked, Amar, the Mystic Gush doesn't work on base. Last I checked. But it is difficult to watch. And, you know, Ultimate for the side of Team Malaysia, though, picking a win is always feeling good.
Jin Xiang was right there all alone. I kind of understand what they wanted to do, but they should have a little bit of awareness where they stand in terms of the economy, where the builds are. Frederick was left all alone, pinned to the wall with a heavy spin. There was not a lot of backup from the Singapore side. And then even if the AOG came down, it was very easily readable. I feel like Gacha Kacha has been out of the meta for a lot of the other teams for a reason.
Yeah, because you got your Marcel's that is, I believe, was just left unchecked, right? And not only just that, you also, if Bellamy really wants to go for that one, the throw is also wide open. That's something that he's comfortable with. The grok is also open if you really want to go for meta. The wall, at the very least, but the wall does block you from escaping sometimes, and you have an account on the enemy team. So maybe a bit of anti-synergy right there. But there's still a couple options. The Atlas, to a certain extent, is also open as well.
Yeah, that's true for Singapore, and we will talk about Elton first. Having a beautiful game, 3-1-7 on this Claude, and he is still unbreakable, unstoppable if he gets his hands on his signature pick. The main issue was, going back to Singapore, is that they don't really have a gap closer. They're going in for this hit-to-hits. They want to play a typical front-to-back, but the meta has shifted. The strategy has changed. You have so much heroes that are able to get XS into their backline. Things like the Claude is not a backline hero anymore. It is a frontline hero. It's sort of like a pseudo frontline hero who is able to just blaze into in that phase.
You just saw that one time Elton actually decides to join his shop on a frontline tour, and now just like Claude is a frontline hero.
He is a frontline hero. So, to say the least, the only backline that they have is Amar on that board, and it's so hard to take down. AOG just takes too long to ramp up. That is not the answer. Martis is not in position. That is not the answer. So even your Valentina, taking a Mr. Gush, you have the Kamehameha, it will not be enough for you to have at least a mano-a-mano fight. The gap closure is the issue.
Yep, I think it's just like, you talk about gap closers. Immediately, right? You just Jinjiang is gonna eat all that Mystic Gush. There's also the way of Dragon from the side of Hisham, and now all of a sudden Jinjiang needs to walk up to Amar all over again. There's also the mobility from the side Elton on the BMI. Nuzhan can easily push anybody away, any form of threat. The disengaged Akai is back for a reason, and this is the reason.
Yeah,